Hey you guys, Summertime Kev's here, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Fishpro today, and we're going to talk about the versatility of the configuration that you can do on this. So right now I've got it set up with the front seat and second seat and the third seat, and then the cooler on the back. Of course, that leaves this whole platform right here for standing and walking around and fishing. You can sit here, put your legs here, fish off the back. That's good when it's just one or two on. This is real convenient for reaching in. This has got fishing gear in it, plus it's got a minnow bucket that's bubbling because it's got minnows in it today. And of course you can configure these in any way you want. They all come off and they can go anywhere on this. So if you want to just have them on the back, you can have them on the side. It's just endless possibilities. You've also got the ones up here for trolling that come on and go off. Of course they can go back here, trolling here, one here, so you can troll from here or up there. So if it's one up, you might want to just troll from the front one so you can watch them. If there's two up, you might want to troll from back here because you've got one on each side. All right, so, and there's another one on this side. So that's great. So there's other things you can do. You can move this cooler to the back here, slide it back, which is good. Then you got the space in the middle. I'm going to show you that. You can also put another attachment here, which is good. So let me slide this back and show you what that looks like. All right, so now we've got that configured with that in the back. The cooler's in the back, it's locked in, it's not going anywhere. You can still use your boarding step to get up. It does hinder your ability to get on board from the back of the boat, just because it is sitting on the back on your rear platform. But if you're not getting off and boarding from the water, it's not going to be an issue. So that gives you this space to stand and cast, and do your 360, which is it's a very good way to fish this standing and casting, because you're kind of you got this whole area right here, which is not huge, but it's enough space to move around, and you can kind of put your back of your leg right here so you know exactly where you're at on here. You're not stepping off of it. I like this configuration when I'm casting. This third seat doesn't have to be on here. If you only have yourself going, you can take this seat off, put it in your car, leave it. You don't need it. It doesn't do anything. And now what you've got is a very large casting platform. It's not exactly level, but it's fine. You can stand on that and cast and do 360. You can move this up. You can move this cooler back up if you wanted to. You can run it without the cooler completely. This cooler locks in like this, and then you just pick it up and move it. Opens that back up for boarding and from the water, or if you just want to sit back here, put your legs here, feet here, cast off that way. And then without that third seat, this is technically will be one seat. When the other one's on there, it kind of makes the second seat here and the third seat there, but that is called the third seat. So then you've got this configuration that you can do, which makes it very appealing to some people. If you're the only one on the ski, you might want to go like this, because you're once you get to your spot, then you're able to stand up here, walk all the way around it, sit on this, cast that way, sit on this, cast that way, and still be able to board and unboard from the back. In the water, this is a stable ski. It is not going to tip over. You can go all the way around this any direction and it's not going to tip over. I have shown that on some of my videos. I'm going to show that today when I get on the water. What I love is stability. So I can walk all the way around it and it barely even moves. I'm on the back platform now. I mean, you know, I'm like doing whatever and we get no, I mean, I can rock it, but I can get on the side. Can't even get it in the water. Stability is great on this. All right. Now I'm up on the ski. So you've got this all. So now I'm up on the ski. So you've got this all for casting, and you know it's not sturdy. It's very sturdy. You get in the water, if you have balance, you're going to be fine on this. You got plenty of room. You can sit. And you can cast this way, you can cast that way. It gets you up a little bit higher. You're not sitting on the seat. I like to fish off the seat sometimes. It depends on where I'm at, what I'm doing. The seat is flat, just about flat, so you can slide back and forth. That was by design. This is really a handy way to ride this, to configure the ski for fishing. So when you're on the ski, you're riding. Now, if you had your second person, they could sit back there, but I wouldn't suggest it. They don't have much of a seat. They might slide off. But you can configure it like this, or you can take that off, and then you have one huge platform on the back. So, for my trip today, I'm going to configure this with the cooler on the back, space in the middle, and the third seat on, because I have a fishing partner today. So let's see how that's gonna do. So I've got that locked in back here. I'm gonna get the third seat, put it back on, and this is how we're gonna ride today. I do not plan on getting in the water. Water temperature is 60, 65, 64, 63 in some areas, so it's not a day that I'll be getting in the water. This seat, today I'm going to configure the poles on the back like this. This goes up front for the front person. This is just a little extra piece that velcros on. I bought off of Amazon or something. I usually put crappie bites in there, some scissors, or my pliers in there, whatever. It's a little slanted, but it works just fine. We're not going to troll, so these come off here. These on the back. I may just put this one over here. Alright, so let's get some poles in here. Crappie pole right here. And let's get a couple of bass poles. When we come in right before dark, we will be throwing the worm. So I'm going to put a couple of bait casters right here in the back. Actually, I'll put one bait caster and one spinning reel. And one more small crappie rod. And I may go straight up crappie rods today. If we're just gonna fish for crappie, I may not even take the bait casters, but I always end up throwing in the evening for bass, right towards the end of the evening. But I may just leave those in today and just go straight crappie. I like to have one of these up here. I don't troll with these, but what I do like is when I'm changing my bait or putting you know, broke a line or adding a minnow or whatever, I like to put the rod here and I'm sitting there. It just makes it so much easier. So we're configured like this for today. That's how we're going with it. So I had a little pause right here because there's a gentleman who just put his boat up on his trailer and pulled it out of the water. And he was having a hard time getting on the trailer. He was an older guy, so I went down there to help him. He didn't need it. He was already okay. But then when I got the jet ski pulled up right here to go ahead and get it backed in, he called me over, and I thought he was going to give me a lure because I talked to him briefly on the ramp. Well, no, he had stuck a hook in his finger, just like this picture. So I helped him get it out and squirted some, I always carry alcohol with me in a spray bottle, so I sprayed some alcohol in him. He was okay. It was just a single hook off of a single treble hook off of the treble hook. And it wasn't a great big one. It was a jerk bait, just a little bit longer and skinnier than the one in the picture, but it just looked awful. But he was able to pull it out with a pair of needle nose pliers that he had, and he said he was okay, and he went on his way, and I went on my way. So just so you remember, this is middle of November, and it's going to get up to about 69 to 71 degrees today. But that doesn't mean that it's warm. The water temperature is 62, 63 degrees, so there's no courtesy dock here. So I'm going to be wading in the water, which is no big deal. I don't even mind it. Also, when that sun starts going down and getting low, and it starts hitting those tree lines, it gets cold fast. And you'll see in the video, because we fish and we catch some fish, it gets cold fast. So while I'm waiting for my fishing partner to arrive at the ramp, I just run out here and I scope around and watch the sonar, see if I can't find some fish for us to fish on. Now on my way back, I already have my toboggan on because at 50 miles an hour on that water, my ears were already starting to get cold. So that's not a big deal, that I'm used to that. So I picked Terry up and we head back out. Yeah, I got some water droplets on my camera, didn't realize that. But Terry, look how she's dressed. She already knows it's going to be cold out there. The water really felt warm since it was 62, 63 degrees and air temperature was about 69. So off we went to our first fishing spot. So already the fishing for crappie was not going good, so I had switched over to bass fishing. 5 inches off that tree right there. I was using about an 8-inch plastic worm, Texas rigged, and I was fishing it real slow because I figured the water was kind of cool, so that would be more lethargic. And throwing this up into about 1 foot of water right up next to the shoreline. And wow, I got a hit. I got a small bass on. That's nice. And then the next 2-3 casts I get hung up and I have to do the infamous break it off. And yet again I'm hung up again. This time I was able to retrieve my lure or slash worm. And then something good happens. And what do you think happens? Yes, I caught a decent-sized bass. Somewhere around that 2-pound range, and since nothing else was biting, and it's sun going down, so it was a good catch on the worm. think I was using a blue worm. So we did get a couple more fish, just a brim and another little bass, but we didn't get those on film. So this was actually a decent catch for the time of year and the amount of time that we fished. But now the sun is starting to go down and we feel the cold. So it's time to bundle up and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful sunset in November in Middle Tennessee, while enjoying the configuration that I picked for this fishing trip. Like I talked about earlier, the Fishpro is one of the most versatile fishing personal watercraft that you can get to date, and I'm going to firmly stand behind that. I fish out of this 3 to 5 times a week, most of the time during the summer, so I know how versatile this ski is. During the summertime, I've camped off of it, so I've loaded it with camping gear. I've taken 2-up fishing, 3-up fishing, which me and 2 others is what I'm talking about, or fish by myself. I'll go from sun up, 6 a.m. to 8:30 in the summertime. Sometimes I've had those 12 and 13-hour days, so I'm carrying enough food and beverages to last all day. I've carried things to grill out. Had birthday parties on islands on this jet ski. The versatility of the Fishpro, I think it's endless. Holds 18.5 gallons of gas. Gas mileage is phenomenal. I've gotten upwards of 100 to 105 miles on a tank full of gas. And of course, that's not running sport mode, but it's running in touring mode. So these jet skis, Seadoo Fishpro, has 3 modes. It has a sport mode which completely reconfigures everything, and its throttle response is good, it's fast, it's fun, it's agile. And then there's eco mode, which is the exact opposite. You know, there's no speed, no top end hardly, there's no acceleration, but gas mileage crazy good. And then you have touring mode, which gives you like the best of both worlds, where I keep it most of the time. So I'm just telling you, Fishpro is the way to go. So one more thing while I'm backing up, and just watch how easy it is to get this jet ski, this personal watercraft Fishpro, on and off the trailer. Just like super easy. I do it by myself all the time. Just doesn't take any effort at all. It's really, really easy. And the other thing I wanted to mention about the Fishpro is mine has 510 hours, or approximately 515 hours on it now. I've never had any problems out of it. The engines on these are bulletproof. They're a closed loop system, which except for the exhaust part, that does take in some lake water or whatever body of water you're in, for cool down, so you do have to flush it. But the internals are closed loop, which is kind of like a car. It has radiator fluid in it, which is just great. Just love this machine. A great day on the water in November. Beautiful sunset, moon's out, we've caught fish. Just love this machine. So do me a favor, support the channel, subscribe so you'll get notifications of more great videos. And if you have any questions, or put them in the comments below. If you got anything you want to ask about a Fishpro, if you've got one too, I've got the manual. I'll share anything I know. Thanks a lot, you guys, and we'll check you next time. Hope to see you guys on my next video. And until then, God bless and be good. See you next time.